I'd rather eat spinach.
Come on, Bert. You're due for a break. And you promised to take me out when we met again. Or have you forgotten?
Of course I ain't, Mary. But...
Oh, dear. Is that all you've got? Never mind. My treat. And no one's charging for the trees in the sky, are they?
Mary Poppins, is he really coming with us?
Why shouldn't he?
Well, to start with, he's very dirty, isn't he? Father would never approve.
What's that?
You can't come with us. You're too dirty. And we don't want to go to the stinky park anyway.
Oh, yes you do. Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go places you never dreamed of. And if she says it's a game, whew, she's got something in mind. You can be certain of that.
That's a picture of the park, isn't it?
That's not the park. That's our park anyway. Look, the tree is much brighter green and the sky is quite a different blue.
I think you'll find it just the way I've drawn it. All that it takes is a spark. Then something plain as a park becomes a wonderland. Come on. All you have to do is look anew, then you'll understand. Why, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright.
Nonsense,
Oh,
Bert.
happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dove.
I haven't the faintest idea
When
what
Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come on, you two.
Boring, just like other nannies thinking. Parks are good for us. It's just statues, nooks and grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she doing it to spite us? Perhaps it's all a plot. I'll tell you what, she seems so different, but I bet she's not. There is nothing to excite us in the park. What was that?
You're quite wrong, you know.
What? Who are you?
I'm Nelius. Surely you know that. You sat beneath me often enough. I've waited half a century to take a walk on a sunny day like this.
Ain't it a glorious day, bright as a morning in May.
I feel like I could fly.
Have you ever seen the grass so green or a bluer sky?
Blue sky.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Better days I've never known.
Can ask the passing statuary.
Nothing's ever set in stone. Morning, Mary. You two look tipped up if I may say so, Mary.
Thank you, Bert. And you may.
Each man that with his dog will stand agog to see our stats do take a gentle jog. Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
It's a jolly holiday with you, Bert. Gentlemen like you are few. Though you're just a diamond in the rough, Bert. Underneath your blood is blue. You'd never think of pressing your advantage. For parents is the hallmark of your creed. A lady needn't fear when you are near. Your sweet gentility is crystal clear.
It's crystal clear.
Oh, it's a
looks like all of us were born to take a run in the park.
Really happen?
Yes. But how?
Mary Poppins, of course.
How do you know Mary Poppins?
She's an old friend of my father.
Your father? You're a statue. You can't have a father.
Well, if that's true, then... Well, why do I miss him so much?
Isn't he one of the other statues?
No. He lives far away from here.
Do you really miss him?
Well, wouldn't you miss your father if you hardly ever saw him?
We'll have to think about that.
Come on. Well, who's your father?
He works at the bank.
Oh, bank. That's it. That's what it was.
What?
This plant is up empty. The statue's gone.
Do you mean you've lost your marbles?
What are you talking about? This is your fault, ain't it? I knew we should have trouble when you first arrived. Now we got a statue missing. What? Oh, lummy.
Will you play with us again?
Of course I will. I'm not going anywhere.
Then we'll see you soon. Goodbye, Nelius.
Goodbye.
Nelius must be so lonely. Could his father ever come to stay?
Anything can happen if you let it.
How long will you stay?
We'll see.
You won't leave us. Will you, Mary Poppins?
I'll stay till the wind changes. Now, run along in.
Good night, Jane. Good night, Michael. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Beth. Jane and Michael want to say good night.
Tell them you've given me the message.
George, please.
Oh, Daddy, we've had a fantastic day. We sang with the busker, danced with the statue, and met Queen Victoria. You wouldn't have approved, but it was
If you
just
know
so...
that, then why did you do it?
Daddy, can I have a kite? A proper one?
Could you fly it?
You can always teach me.
When would I have the time to do that?
Daddy, who is the father of Nelius?
Will you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he cares about is flying kites and his beloved astronomy, of course.
Oh, I used to love astronomy at his age. My nanny, Miss Andrew, soon beat it out of me.
I suppose we do need a nanny, George. It is out of the question to do without one.
Don't be absurd. Of course we need a nanny. All the best people have nannies, so the wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how is your tea party coming on?
I'm not sure. It seems so odd to send out invitations to people I hardly know.
But they're people you should know. Remember, by your friends shall ye be judged.
But that's the point. They're not my friends. Actually, I heard today from Clemmy Bunting. She's rehearsing a new play at the moment, and I thought I might ask her if
How
maybe...
many times must I tell you? I wish you to sever all connection with that part of your life.
George, I was an actress. Lots of people might find that interesting. Though you always talk as if I should be ashamed of it.
Well, it's not exactly something to be proud of. Winifred, dearest, I'm only thinking of you. I want people to admire you, to respect you.
I know, George, but sometimes it's hard.
It's not hard. It is your job to be Mrs. Banks.
And what is your job?
To pay for everything. Ah, what is it?
I was only going to kiss you.
Oh, all right. Are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well, but just make sure she's doing things our way and not hers. But good old rules! If you can bend them, we need a nanny who is disciplined and stern. With boys and girls, you don't befriend them. I fear that Mary Poppins has a lot to learn.
Being Mrs. Banks should be an easy role. And yet it's one which I don't seem too good at on the whole. I have a comfy home, I have a simple life, I have a name which tells the world I'm someone else's wife. Being Mrs. Banks, what does that entail? Facing tests of character, I always seem to fail. And as for his best people, well, I'd like to say, no thanks. They're not exactly my idea of being Mrs. Banks.
I still feel as if I'm dreaming so much. Finding just one day when Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. I'm sure Neelius is beaming. Let's hope she will say. Good night, Neelius.
Let's hope she
will
Precision and order.
To change, tides can turn, sink or swim. See what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just learn a trade. So I learned them all. Chim chimani chim chim.
Swabbing the decks today, I see.
Gotta keep the streets ship safe, Admiral.
Tell me, how are things aboard number 17? All plain sailing with Mary Poppins, I trust.
There's some rough weather on every voyage, Admiral.
Ah, Miss Locke, what those children need is a touch of the candle, 9 on the yard arm.
What those children need, Admiral, is a touch of happiness. Billow beach.
Mrs. Brill, don't make the sandwiches too early. They'll get stale before the guests arrive.
Everything's under control, Mum.
Well, and what about the cake?
Cooling on the tray, waiting to be iced.
And you're quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you're worried, I've not been exchanged by the fairies for a tall makeup rope.
No!
No.
Well, I'll just go up and check the drawing room.
I'd like to be helpful.
And I'd like to be rich, but the good Lord thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room.
She can't have me. I've got enough on my plate as it is.
She says you can tell Roberts and I what to do.
Oh, does she indeed? Well, why don't I go and have a smoke near the gasworks for good measure?
Please, Mrs. Brill. I don't mind, honest.
All right, I will give you one task, and one task only. And so help me, if you get this wrong, I'll swing for you and sing as they pull the lever.
What is it, Mrs. Brill?
Put the icing tools next to the cake. And I'll need a bowl of hot water to warm them. I will make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Icing tools, cake, hot water. I will make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Now, do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. Once the cake's done, I have the sandwiches next because Madam wants them fresh. So I can't start them until there's no time to finish them. Ugh, I swear, a slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Well, don't just stand there, Roberts and I.
Right. No. The icing tools, cake, the hot water. Oh dear.
What's he looking for?
A bowl for the water.
Michael, why don't we make the icing?
Because we don't know how.
Don't be so feeble. Get the eggs. If Mrs. Brill can do it, it can't be that hard.
Are there eggs in icing?
There are in mine.
I don't think Mrs. Brill will thank you.
Then she will be guilty of great ingratitude.
Is it supposed to look like this?
It doesn't look like that when Mrs. Brill does it.
Don't be so impertinent and get me the cake.
Honestly, Miss Jane, I was only trying to be helpful. If you'd only listen to me, you might...
No!